Robyn Djelassi, we have, like, I learned how to say your surname from your LinkedIn profile where you've got the little button where it's got the music on it.
Yes.
Like, that was so cool. Thank you for putting that on there to help me pronounce your last name. So, thanks for joining us too, by the way.
It's great to be here. I feel like we've got a lot to talk about, Anton. I think you and I are going to be here for a while, my friend.
I think so. And we've got the same degree too. Your HR, your diploma HR, yeah, I'm the same. Very similar.
That's it. You know, I started off doing computer science at uni.
Turns
out I'm freaking terrible with tech, my friend. So I went and did HR instead.
Good. And is that more your style?
More my style. Absolutely. Tech and I do not get along. Yeah.
I'm with you. So I've got a son in tech, Robyn. I know. The smartest human in Australia.
Right.
And got it all from his dad, mum.
I was going to say, hang on a minute, what?
and I'm the same. I can't even get like software running here in the office. But yeah, I'm like you. I much prefer humans than computers. But I think AI is going to take over soon. So you and I are going to have to become a little bit techie soon.
We can do that. You know what? I think you're probably the same generation as me. I'm 21, and Anton, you look 21 as well. And we Gen Xers, my friend. We grew up with tech. We are the fastest adopters. Did you know of AI? Because, mate, I'm older than Google. AI's got nothing on me.
Me too. You're just older than Google. I'm quite a bit older than Google. I love it. Hey, Robyn, talk us through Impact People Solutions and CPO. Like, you have done so much cool stuff in the last, and I saw on LinkedIn, it's probably 2.5 years now that you've been in business by yourself solving the HR problems of the world.
Yeah, it's been a bit of fun. It's flown by. It's been a blast. Right. So we are a bunch of grey-haired, battle-scarred chief people officers. We pride ourselves on no juniors and no call centres. So what that means is we are a bunch of women. We have some men too. Calm down, boys. Who work with businesses across Australia to do the tricky HR stuff that nobody loves. And the difference with us, as opposed to most other HR consultancies or organisations, is there's nothing we haven't seen before. Right. There is nothing we haven't seen. We can solve it quickly, quietly, without the drama. Nobody needs the HR drama. And we just get the job done.
With the rhythmic. No.
And you know, we've sat on executive teams. Right. We sit on boards now. Right. So we know what your executive team need to see. We know what your board needs to see. And it's a completely clean sheet. No incidents, no dramas, nothing to see here. We can make that happen. And that's the difference with us. We love it.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well said. The real tricky stuff. What about the boring stuff that no one likes doing either? You know,
yeah, we do that too. We just don't talk about it because it's bloody boring. That's it, right? So the first thing we do with every engagement, we start with a new client, is we'll do what I like to call the not get sued stuff. So yeah, we're going to take all of your policies, your processes, your procedures, and generally bin them, right? We'll just set fire to those and say, we are done here. Yeah. No, file them in the bin. That is correct. And then we give you our own because we know they're compliant. They're short and sharp. They do what they need to do. We'll tailor them, of course. And then we'll run some assessments across respect at work, work health and safety, and, of course, psych safety.
Oh, stop it.
And then we're compliant. We know what we're doing. Everybody's trained. Before we do anything, we make sure we do the not get sued stuff, and then we're there for you as you need us as your HR execs. Yeah,
because
sounds all right, isn't it?
As good as that boring stuff will keep you out of jail as well, because you get the boring stuff right, so that the tricky stuff doesn't show up. Right. Sometimes even if you got the boring stuff done, the tricky stuff still does show up. Because I'm on a board where I'm on a non-for-profit board where we've got some of this. There's some lagging legacy stuff that is now. And it can be a challenge if your systems and processes aren't right for it. So
so we do the hygiene stuff first. And as you say, look, it's not the sexy stuff, but it's critical and it becomes part of your culture. As much as we hate to admit it, if you get this stuff right, particularly around anti-sexual harassment, discrimination, bullying, psych safety, if you get that right and you train your people and you show that you genuinely care, this isn't so we just don't get sued. It's because we care. Your culture will shift immeasurably.
Stop it.
Yeah. True story. I'm telling you.
I love it. I love it. And you'd have some great case studies, I would have thought. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks for sharing. You must have a really cool existence and business life talking to all these amazing humans out there in the world who are trying to stay out of jail.
We have some great clients. We have some. Well, you know what's cool about running a business, and you would know this, Anton, is we get to choose our clients as much as they get to choose us. Yes. And we have fired clients before. I've spoken about this publicly. There was an incident of racism that our team would not tolerate. We raised it to the CEO. We raised it to the board. Nothing happened. We walked away. That's okay. We lost a 6-figure contract. And likewise, I've said no to clients who would like to engage our services because of certain concerns that I have around values alignment, we'll say. And so we work with good people doing good stuff. Not too many people can say that. Yeah.
No, that's right. And we're very, very lucky. We haven't had to fire clients for forever. So very grateful, Robyn. Yeah. So and one of the things that I'm really interested in is a lot of people see HR as very transactional. I'm guessing you have to put some pizzazz, like you've got the pizzazz, you've got the funk. Yeah. How do you funky it up? Like, what is the secret to funking HR?
Look, HR's not sexy for sure. And I have been caught out by HR myself. I don't love HR. You know, people say, don't trust HR. True story, don't. Don't trust finance. Don't trust sales. Don't trust marketing. We're all just human. And that's the trick with HR. I think at times the function can be seen as too serious and as a corporate cop. I am not a corporate cop, and nor am my team. And so we are just human beings with a bunch of experience, years and years of it, and we know how to work well with people. The job is commercial. It is not soft all of the time. Gotcha. And the fun is in who we are. So when I think about hiring for my business, I hire only people who have something going on outside of work, because I've been the human who's just thrown her heart and soul into work and miss seeing my friends on the weekend and went days without engaging with my children. And I don't want that for my business. And so when I look to hire for impact, I look for fully rounded humans that will join us and bring all of that wonderful, rich experience and life experience with them. So that's how we become a bit fun and just being ourselves. Like, the work's serious, but we don't take ourselves seriously. We're a bunch of bogans, and we just love what we do.
A bunch of bogans. I love that. Where are you based? Pretty place.
So I'm sitting here in my office on Main Street, Mornington right now. So the beautiful Mornington Peninsula, otherwise known as wine country, Anton. There's a reason. Yes.
Yeah, good. Is that what you're having? Are you having a Pinot Noir tonight? Was it Pinot
Noir?
Did
I have a Chardonnay at lunch? It would be rude to say. Okay, but I definitely will have a Pinot tonight. So we're based in Mornington. We service clients nationally.
Of course. Yeah. No, I love it. I love that hire for impact. I love that. That's such a cool statement. I've even said it today to a leader. Whenever you see someone's resume and it says, what I do for fun, run marathons, do triathlon, do Ironman, hire them.
Sure.
On the spot.
Sure. Absolutely. They've got something going on, right? That's exciting to them. And I love that.
That's right. Especially the triathlons or the marathoners, because they're going to finish. They just don't give up. They will give them a goal and they just go after it.
Yeah. And they're not going to think of work as life and death, because we're all very privileged people living in this beautiful country with roofs over our head, hopefully most, if not all of us, and food on the table. And if you can't love what you do, that's a real shame.
That's a challenge.
So that external experience and other things going on in your life, so important to the culture.
Love it. Thanks for sharing. Talking about culture, a leader like you has an influence on other humans. Yeah. We're big on influence. And what I'd love to know, Robyn, is what is it? What does influence mean for you, and how important is it for you?
Alrighty, super important for me. Very important for me. Influence for me means moving people, moving them, a decision, moving a point of view. Moving people's decisions, behaviours, outcomes without the need for a stick.
Without what?
without the need
the big
for
stick.
You don't need a stick, right? Oh. So for me, influence is first about building credibility and trust. And when I engage with new clients and their teams, I say, you won't trust me immediately. And that's clever. Don't. You don't know me. That's really clever. But you'll learn to. And so for me, influence is about saying what you mean and meaning what you say. It's about following through with your promises and speaking from a place of experience or authority. But most importantly, Anton, you can only influence if you care about the outcome. If you don't care, you won't have influence. You need to have skin in the game, even if that's just a little bit of your heart that cares about the outcome. Yeah.
Oh, what about a lot of your heart in there?
Yeah, a lot of your heart. If you really give a shit about what the outcome's going to be, boom, you'll have some influence. If you've demonstrated your credibility, that you're speaking from a place of care, and you really want it to be successful, that's influence for me. Moving people without a stick. Yeah.
Moving humans without a stick. I love it.
Yeah.
That's the best. That's such a great definition. Thank you so much, Robyn.
Pleasure.
We've got a little acronym for CARE, Robyn. Our psych safety program is called Communicate with Acceptance, Responsibility, and Empathy.
I love that. Yeah, we are.
One day I'm going to talk you through that.
I want to hear it. I do want to hear it. We speak a lot about care here at Impact. And when I think about 2 new hires that we've just made, there is a gentleman who I adore, and there's a woman sitting next door to me, our operations manager, and I said, we will never let him go because he cares. That's simple. Is he the best in the world? Probably, but he also cares.
Holy. I love that. After this, if it's cool, I'm going to reach out, get your postal address. We're going to send you down a book with that as a title.
Would love it. Please.
Thank you. Great. Please. Cool. And I'd love to know what you think when you've had a read. It's a nice easy. Hey, look at that. And the next thing I'm going to ask you about.
Psych safety?
Wow, yes. Is that all right?
Oh, let's go. I got stories for days.
Hit me.
All right.
What's the worst story or who's the leader that just hurt a human?
All righty. So this will be completely anonymous, sir.
Oh, of course.
I was working in a particular business, and it was about 11 o'clock at night. I was laying in bed, and I got bing on my phone. And, of course, being the addict that I am, I picked my phone up, and it was an email from a young man who had sent that email to myself, to all of the other C-level people in that business, to the media, and to a bunch of politicians. And this particular gentleman was in this email. It was a manifesto of sorts.
Oh, no.
Yes, he had decided to unalive himself.
Oh, no. No. Based on the way he'd been treated.
There was some work stuff and there was some personal stuff. Here's the trick, Anton. He reached out to his executive. One of them responded. That was me. And so I said to my husband, grab the Pinot, and he did. Call the police, and we did. And through a series of events, which back in the olden days included going through the HR system to try and find this young man's address. Was the wrong address. He didn't live there anymore. The police arrived. He's no longer there. Stalking Facebook, finding a friend on Facebook who had a phone number listed, we called this person, he barely knew the individual who had confessed to wanting to self-harm that evening. This went on for many hours with police on one phone, Facebook stalking on a computer, and random friends of this gentleman on another phone. The police did find him eventually through a series of many, many phone calls and instructions and friends that we spoke to that we managed to find. And the gentleman was okay. He was harmed, but he was alive. And it was never spoken about again at work the next day. Really? Everybody on that executive team received the email, and I was told, come in at 9:30 tomorrow.
Even though you'd been up all night.
But there was no, are you okay?
No briefing. No.
How are you? How is he? Can we do something? So we talk about psychological safety like it's some woo-woo, the world's gone woke, but it's about being human. So you asked the worst story. There is that. There's that.
Is that person still with us?
He is. Oh, he is. And he reaches out occasionally. And I'm still angry with him. I am.
Really?
But yeah, of course I am. Of course I am. Yeah, it made me really sad for him and his family. He's okay. But I have other stories. I think about that. I've told this too many times that I've lost teeth through stress at work. 3 new teeth.
No.
Yes, I have 3.
What, grinding them?
Yeah, until they cracked. And that's a very expensive and painful exercise. I was by one organization, I confessed. I tell these personal stories. I do a lot of training in psych safety, Anton, and we roll this training out to all manner of organizations. We have recently trained a coal mine, a bunch of coal miners in Queensland, and they thought, oh gosh.
Which mine? Which mine did you go?
Kestrel Coal. Kestrel Coal.
Moranbah?
Sorry?
Moranbah?
Oh, I couldn't tell you if Queensland. Let's just say Queensland. And they were like, who's this crazy HR lady talking about woo-woo psych safety? But then I rolled out the personal stories. And, I told them about that. And I told them about how I was asked to leave a business because I was pregnant. And what that does to somebody's self-confidence. And so there are personal stories that I share, and I'm a pretty tough old bird. I've lost teeth. I've had to negotiate my way out of a business because I was having my first child. I have helped somebody who was in a state of absolute distress when the rest of the business did not pay any, or our politicians or the media as well, mind you, who were on that email. I've seen it firsthand from both sides. And so when we talk about psychological safety, and we at Impact do a lot of work in this space, we're doing it from a place of experience, not textbooks. And I think that resonates more than anything.
I agree.
Yeah. We've been in the trenches, Anton.
That's for sure.
It all. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. And that would go so well with those underground coal miners out there. That is something that would resonate, because a lot of them would have wives and daughters and
absolutely.
And
and
a lot of them work in the mines as well now because they're very family-orientated towns.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, people of all walks of life. We roll this out to white, blue collar. And we always share the stories. And, anti-sexual harassment training, our respect at work stuff is pretty powerful as well. And, oh, my gosh, you need to hear my stories there. But I tell some stories, right?
What's the biggest one?
Oh, I've got a couple. So, of course, there was the pregnancy dilemma and being asked to leave a business there. The second was, look, I was a 20-something-year-old kid and I had just moved to Melbourne, right? So last week, exactly. I just moved to Melbourne. And I was probably wearing some cheap little suit and some terrible high heels, but I'd gone out with a girlfriend for lunch. Sorry, my apologies. I'd gone out with a girlfriend for drinks after work.
Right.
And my general manager, the owner of the business that I was working for at the time, was there as well. I was early to mid-20s. And this gentleman was a married man with 3 children. And I was a young kid with, you know what happened. There was a hard word put on me. I politely declined and backed away. But I got to work on the Monday and I was promptly ignored. And we went around the boardroom to talk about what was happening that week. And every Monday we would talk to talk to this person, then we'd move on to the next, and got to my turn and I was skipped. And this kind of bullying by isolation went on for a few days. Now, back in the olden days, Anton, you didn't challenge the man. You said nothing. And so I did. And I was a starving kid. Could barely afford my rent.
Right.
But I walked into that gentleman's office, and I use gentleman as a term very loosely. I handed my resignation, and back then it was hard copy. I said, I hereby.
That's right.
And he said, is it because? And I said, no. I said, no, of course not. I've got another job, because you don't embarrass the man back then. And you don't speak truth to power. And I starved, but my comeuppance, my little middle finger to him was, I went into the kitchen at work. I stole some biscuits, I stole some tea bags, and I lived off those for a few weeks until I found a new job.
Good on you.
So when we think about, again, the respect at work legislation, women and men, we don't have to put up with that anymore. I can say yes because. And feel okay in doing that. I'm glad the world's changed. We tell those stories when we talk to businesses.
Us too. We've got some as well, and I've got the ones about the bullying bosses and the screamers and the shouters and the you're this and you're that, and
I've seen it.
And they land when it comes to psych safety. So yeah, especially with the miners, because I say now this won't happen here anymore. You know what they say? Have a guess what they say.
Tell me.
It still does.
Yeah.
And I go, no. You know, like you and I are in work doing this work because there are 1900s leaders out there who aren't still the best versions of themselves. And you said before, be a human. We always say be a good human.
Yes, love that.
That's what leadership is. Be a good human.
Yeah.
And our program's called Speak Safe.
Yeah,
Speak Safe. And you'll love the book. And it's around how you communicate, you know, and some leaders have this horrible impact on other people that they remember for decades.
I'm recalling stories to you now that are decades old.
Decades old. That's
right. And I remember the names. Yeah.
And you remember Ina, all because of a conversation or an inappropriate pass, for example. But that's still words and languaging. So
and you remember the feeling, Anton, don't you? It sits with you.
Oh yeah, you know how you go like that? You go like this. You go, it's in my heart.
It is,
It's actually about there. See you, Debbie. Have a great night. See you later. It's actually about Debbie's just leaving. About there in your hippocampus, which is just in front of your amygdala in your limbic system, because it's so emotional, it gets stuck as a memory, and we never let that go. That just is locked in long-term memory.
And I would tell anybody who listens, you know, that these people think that they do it, you move on. It's never spoken again. But look out. I don't know how many thousands of people I train. They're all hearing the stories because it is not okay. And I like that Speak Safe, because that's what psychological safety is, isn't it?
How we communicate.
The ability to speak up and the freedom to do that.
And the freedom comes from leaders who can listen and who can be challenged. Professionally and appropriately. And then, because not all ideas fly, so leaders need the skill to say, hey, great idea, comma, and, not but.
And,
you know, like just little nuances in their communication. And, you know, sometimes, honestly, and you know this as well as I do, Robyn, sometimes it only takes a word.
Yep.
Just one word in a sentence. You know, and you do it beautifully. You use my name a lot. You use the word you a lot. You know, you always start with you because that's very outward facing, you know, and then you use the personal stories, and, you know, you would be so connective when you were doing training.
Well, I hope so. It seems to be working. But you're right, this stuff's not hard. When I think about leadership, good human is a really nice way to put it. I have a framework I use called adults, and I talk about just treating adults like adults. This stuff's not rocket surgery.
Do you know a lady called Pollyanna Linkage?
Yes.
Yeah.
How do I know that name?
You probably know her from LinkedIn. Pollyanna is an amazing human. She's been on our podcast, Find Your Influence. Right. And do you know how Pollyanna described leadership?
Tell me.
Showing up with your adult self.
Boom.
Oh, isn't that the best?
Love that. Because if you think about it, Anton, I talk about one of the biggest things I see, or the most common challenges for my clients, is I need to have a hard conversation. There's conflict in the workplace, whatever it might be, with a customer or with whether it be two colleagues. There's some kind of conflict, and I need to have a difficult decision. Help me. Now, if there's conflict in the kindergarten, right, the kindergarten kids know how to solve it. They solve it. Like they don't go and ask for coaching. They will talk to each other, or they will find a way to get through that. And it's forgotten. Why can't we as adults do that? Because we are so concerned about hurting feelings. And I think the HR landscape is one where a lot of my clients are concerned about, can I say this? Is it all right to say that? Where is the line? And the truth is, don't be a dickhead and you'll be okay. Act with care. Act with care. Your word. Don't be a dickhead. Always come from a place of good intention.
Oh, stop.
And you'll be okay.
Check your intent before you check your tongue.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself, Anton.
Rob, check yourself before you wreck yourself. That might be a new slogan, huh?
Yeah.
I love it. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for the fun. Thanks for making this so much fun.
It's not hard, is it, this stuff? And you got to have
it's actually not.
Yeah, you've got to have a Google.
And the challenge is leaders are freaking out about it. Like you would have found this out, right? Every leader I speak to, and I'm looking at one of our clients at the moment, big industry. There's leaders that go, how am I going to navigate this new landscape? Like now it's legal. It's 14. You do all the 14, job demands, all the policies, bullying, harassment, all that stuff. And leaders are so freaked out that they can't have a conversation because they will get pulled over the coals. Yeah. And now, just if you're a good human, have the right intent. And I always say you should write everything down too, like I am today.
Yeah, for sure, yourself. Absolutely.
And make sure you cover yourself. And what writing does, Robyn, is it actually gives you a chance just to calm yourself, just to focus on something else.
Yeah,
You just don't get that. You just need a moment to chill.
And another powerful trick that I've learned is the 3-second pause.
Oh, stop!
Isn't that great? When somebody's being a silly duffer and they're worked up. I do this with my kids. I hope they don't listen to this. But I go,
how old are your kids first, Robyn?
12 and 15. 2 boys for my sins. I'm a boy mum.
Oh, so, we're 2 boys too. 16 months apart.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. All I do is cook pasta to fill them up and go to the store and buy more cereal. They want to eat breakfast cereal 24 hours a day.
I love it.
It's just, do you find it's a constant cycle of just cooking for your children?
It was.
How old are yours?
Mine are 27 and 26 now. So they're
okay.
They're flying.
They're cooking for themselves now.
Well, yes. I hope so. We've raised them to be somewhat independent, Robyn, and we hope, as a husband and wife team, we hope that we sent them out into the world with some skills that would make them reasonably independent humans and not have to rely.
Yeah,
I know.
Incredibly important. I want my men to be beautiful young men who can cook, clean, wash, iron, as well as go out, kick the footy around, have a great income, whatever they want, but they need to be self-sufficient. I love that you've done that too.
Can I give you very, very quickly, and I hope this lands with you. I don't know if it will because it's 27-year-old phrasing. For my wife and I, 2 missions for the kids. 1, as you're growing up, get adults to like you.
Yes.
So we said that from as soon as they could listen.
Mm-hmm.
So we took them everywhere, get adults to like you. So they learned to integrate. The eldest took it as just be good. So we called him toe the line because he just followed the rules.
Sounds like my eldest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's always the second child. Come on, tell me about him. I've got a sociopath for my second child.
I don't know if ours is quite the sociopath, but he was the rat bag, let's say.
Yeah.
We had the school captain, the eldest, and then he was on a good behaviour bond at the same time. So that was quite interesting times. They wanted to expel him, and he was leading the school. So that was interesting. Good parenting, good for your parenting.
Yeah.
And we bought the book, Robyn, and I highly recommend it. He'll Be Okay. I still remember reading the book. He'll Be Okay.
He'll Be Okay. I might need that.
I'll send it to you with Speak Safe.
Do. I'm stuck in this loop on TikTok at the moment where all these videos keep popping up and they go along the line, very similar, but they're along the lines of you need to commit a crime and you need some help. Which child are you going to choose? Why is it your second child? They ask it for you every time. And why is it your second?
You need to bury a body.
Yeah,
why are you choosing your second child?
It's definitely my second kid, I'm asking.
Well said. And here was our second rule for our kids.
Go on.
Treat females like princesses.
I love that.
I'm glad because
I love that.
Now in 2025, when I say that in public, like some females get quite offended. I don't want to be treated like a princess. I want to be treated equally. And I go, okay, cool.
I don't know.
That was just the language that we had in the 1900s.
I like the intent because I think for far too long as women we have treated men with kid gloves, right? I didn't speak truth to power in my moment. And
of course.
I had the opportunity. And do you know, this is going to upset some of your listeners as well, but we are generally frightened of men. Okay? I was talking to somebody today. I was talking to a girlfriend and she said, I really want to go for a walk in the morning, but it's too dark. And her son says, Mum, why aren't you walking? She said, well, I'm terrified. But he can go out and walk. And,
which is sad, isn't it?
For far too long, we've placated and we have kept the peace. And so I think we've treated men a certain way, not all of the time. And I'm being very general here. Treat women like princesses. If we're going to give you the same respect, I think that's lovely.
Respect females.
Absolutely.
And can I give myself a rap just very, very quickly? Can I just do some of these ones?
Yeah,
just one time.
Yep.
So, and I was so proud. My wife said one day, "Watch the way your dad treats your mum, and you just do that."
Beautiful.
Okay. And I went, "Oh,
yeah.
stop
Beautiful.
it, stop it."
Yeah, so, we need to role model it, Anton.
That's right.
You know, my husband, whether he likes it or not, he cooks, cleans, washes, irons. We share the workload, but there was never a choice for me. That was, and it was quite natural for him as well. There was no discussion because we both work. Yeah, and we both enjoy our jobs. And so my children grow up seeing that, which is lovely. So I think we need to role model it. That's how we create a better world. We create better humans.
Absolutely. I'm so glad we're talking about parenting, because we always say in our programs, Robyn, that parenting is the most important job on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Leadership's the second most important job. Neither of them have got the playbook.
Yes.
Most people you and I cross are doing both of those jobs simultaneously, like you are, and like I am to a degree still, especially with one of them, the youngest one, who's still trying to find his feet in the world. Yeah. And that role modelling and having a mission for them and having a vision for them, and, like, whether it's just those simple two things or it's something else or whatever, change the world or whatever, I think is, and being able to articulate that and bring them along and role model how you live that yourself by your values.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's really interesting, Anton, there is so much similarity in both leadership, the corporate perspective, as well as parenting. However, there are strong differences as well. And when I am parenting at home, they're children. They're 12 and 15-year-old boys, and so I know my limits. I can only push them so far before there's a tantrum. But if there's a tantrum in the office, we've got problems, because you're a grown adult and I'm going to treat you like one, because I hired or I work with fully formed adults, and I'm going to have those hard conversations with you that might upset a child, but you are here to do a job. And we're going to treat each other with respect and dignity, and we're going to have those hard chats. So while they are similar, I do see a tendency sometime in leaders to treat their colleagues like kids. Stop it.
Or businesses that say we're a family business.
Bullshit. I've got a family.
I thought that might strike you.
Another one.
That's right. I'm with you. And then you would have had this conversation with a leader, Robyn. A leader will say, Anton, why have I got to talk to my 13-year-old girls at home like I talk to these people at work?
Yeah.
And I say, well, you probably feel like you have to, but at the end of the day, maybe you don't.
Yeah, you don't.
Hey, very quickly, influence.
Influence.
Yeah. Who's like, when you look back on your career, we've sort of talked about the people that influenced you in the wrong way, that sort of showed you how not to be. Who influenced you in the right way?
Two people spring to mind.
Mum and Dad?
First of all, my dad. So my dad is an incredible human, Richard Raymond Blanche, RRB. Look, he did like a year in the military, God bless him. So he's got that, strident. He's 80 years old now. He's thinks he's ex-military. He did a year of national service. But for him, work ethic was incredibly important. And turning up to work every day and giving 110%, he taught me, was the minimum. That was barrier to entry. And that he taught me nobody owes you a job, Rob. Nobody owes you it. You are not entitled to one. You have to earn it. And you have to earn it every day. And not those little life lessons that I think we Gen Xers perhaps have in common.
That's 100%.
Yeah, but there was also utmost support for somebody who was of his generation, still is, mildly misogynistic. Okay, and that's an 80-year-old man, perhaps, again, a huge generalization. No. But to him, I was different. I was his daughter. There was nothing I couldn't do. He turned up to every netball game, every calisthenics competition.
Nice.
He was with me during my year 12 exams, my university exams. He was a guy who didn't finish year 10.
Oh.
Right? Nobody in my family went past year 10. The pride that he had and the love and support. And so for me, he absolutely gave me the belief that I could do anything and that, I could finish high school. Look, check me out. I could even go to uni. What? Who do you think you are, kid? And then pursue a career, start my own business. He's incredible. He's wonderful. So, he's a really, really good human. And the other would be a boss of mine. I've spoken about some pretty crappy bosses. This one's pretty ace. There are two, actually.
Right.
I've spoken about one before. His name is John Rowland. and he was the MD of a company called Unico Computer Systems. Now, he hired me when I had a 4-month-old baby boy. I may or may not have left a business because I was pregnant. And I went from...
Were you out of work for 4 months?
No, my friend. My father at the time, here's a story. My dad was on life support. He just had a subdural hematoma and was in a coma and life support when that had happened with the other organisation. Okay. So he had flown down from Cairns to surprise me for my birthday, and he surprised me with a brain hemorrhage. Selfish, right? It was my birthday, boo. Like, come on, Dad, you could have waited. And so I had my father and his beautiful wife. And she is beautiful, by the way. And I didn't have an income a week after that. Imagine that. I had to pay his mortgage. We didn't know if he had one, by the way, but we were paying his mortgage, my mortgage. I was pregnant with a child. It was what we like to call in HR a foster clerk. And so I went and got a job, and I went from a really great, impressive job to working for $25 an hour doing recruitment, from head of to that. And I thought, okay, but that's, you do what you got to do, right? I'll stack shelves at Coles. That's okay. I gotta survive. So that's what I did. And then I had a beautiful baby boy. And I got a phone call one day, and I was offered a HR director role at Unico with no HR background. My background was all talent acquisition. I had a 4-month-old baby, and this gentleman caught me pumping milk downstairs in the garage one day, expressing milk. He was horrified. He built me a breastfeeding room. He's a beautiful man. When I was pregnant with my second child, and I went on maternity leave, and he said, "We're still part of the executive team. You're really important to us, Rob. We have an offsite. Can I hire you a nanny for the offsite?" And he did. And he hired me a nanny so that I could still attend and have the baby come in to be fed. So we talk about bad guys and bad leaders. That was 15, nearly 16 years ago. I met him, and I count him as one of my closest friends to this day. Next Friday, actually. I just adore him because good people, they exist. Good men exist. There are more good men than we talk about. So he was one, and the other is a gentleman by the name of Justin Dry. He is the CEO of Vino Mofo. Vino, wine, Mofo, mother. We know what Mofo stands for. Right. And I'd come out of another pretty rough role, and I met Justin, and he was incredibly supportive. He understood what it meant to do HR well and not just the fluff for the sake of it.
Right.
He understood the advice that I was giving, and I was straight on to the exec team and just part of the crew. It was an inherent trust, which is rare. Yeah. And so I would say all of those men have influenced. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. We talk about men holding careers back, Anton. No, not in my experience. Not all the time. In fact, I've had much more good and support, and not because I'm a woman, but because I'm Rob, from those guys that I ever had men holding me back. Yeah.
Good on you. Hey, thanks for putting such a positive spin on that. That was really, really cool. That's, we can sort of go down a rabbit hole of, and I've made that mistake in workshops where I've asked people, who was your worst leader? And hours later, we're still talking about it, and they're still bitter and twisted about life. And then when we ask people, who's your best leader? You have the opposite effect. And people light up like you just did then, and just have this, great memory again down here.
They're out there.
Memory of people that supported them, and we're just so grateful to those humans. And it's great of you to call them out. There's people that did lift you up, and that just you're where you are because of them.
Absolutely,
in some way, shape, or form.
Absolutely, definitely. Good men, many of them.
Love it. Thank you, Robyn. You're amazing. Now, last couple of questions, because that was also way too much fun. Actually, let's make it a few questions. One is, so these are the people that influenced you. Have you got someone that you're really proud of? Like, have you got a protege?
Look, I've got a few. I call them my bambinos. Okay, I have a few little bambinos. There are two that spring to mind only because you're going to love this. I actually text both the little rat bags today. So when I was working at Vino Mofo, I was chief people officer there, and COVID was crazy. It was a mad time, and I needed some support in HR. And so two wonderful humans already in the business I knew were smart. I mean, they were clever and they had an aptitude for the people stuff. And so I lured them across to the dark side. They are Leslie and Jackson. Both wonderful, wonderful humans came across to the dark side with me and both undertook further study, but also learnt HR from me. And we're still in touch today, which is a bit of fun. Every time I go to the hairdresser, it's been an ongoing joke for 4 years. I will send a photo of me in the chair with all that, stuff going on. And I did that today, and Jackson got back and said, it's my favourite time of the month. We're 4 years on.
I love it.
We do crazy things. But why am I proud of them? Because baptism by fire, learning HR during COVID, can you imagine? For an e-commerce wine company. You
would have been busy.
My goodness, Anton, we did not keep up. And
didn't COVID cause alcoholism or something?
Oh gosh, well it did in me. So no. It was good fun. We couldn't keep up, and we were hiring people, and we couldn't get enough people in the door. And we had wonderful warehouse crew who were scared of getting COVID. Nobody knew what was going on, and we were having to put all these policies and programs in place. And these two incredible humans are so battle hardened now. And it's so ready for anything. But importantly, their integrity. I know that this may have been a fluke, but when I said those are my two, their integrity cannot be questioned. Their skills are extraordinary, far surpassing mine. And I'm just incredibly proud of them. They grew up, in this role. And they're not children. I'm saying they grew up. No. They're definitely not children. But they have done such extraordinary things in their careers. I'm really proud of them. Yeah.
Shout out to Leslie and Jackson.
Absolutely.
Keep up the good
work. My Bambinos.
Bambinos. Go to the Bambinos. I love it. Yes. Thanks, Robyn. That's beautiful. Another beautiful story. Now, very quickly, two easy questions to finish us off, because you and I are going to finish at 5 today. I'm flying to London tomorrow.
Oh, you wouldn't do it in London?
Yes. Going over to Red Bull Racing Factory, going to speak over there. That'll be really, really cool.
Oh, my gosh, amazing. Will you let me know how that goes? That's nuts.
Yes, actually, action.
Yes, please let me know. That's incredible.
Done.
You're a big deal, dude. That's impressive. I love that.
Thank you. And I've got 2 more meetings. I've got one at 6, a coaching session, and then I'm getting coached at 7. Once they're done, I'm finished for the evening.
Great.
This is what I'm really busting to hear. Number 1. What's your leadership mantra?
My leadership, treat adults like adults. Really simple, right? Easy. Just treat adults like adults.
Wow.
Doesn't need to be that complicated. You hide fully formed adults, treat them as such. And if they act like children, it's a different discussion you're having, right? Yeah, absolutely. But you assume good intent and treat adults like adults.
Assume positive intent.
Yes, always.
Spoken like a true Brene Brown fan. Love it. Now, last question.
Yeah.
Now, Robyn, huge fave.
Yeah.
Who do you think would be another person who would love or be worthy of talking about influence and who's influenced them over their journey? Pretty please.
I have a wonderful woman you need to speak to. Her name is Elise O'Brien, AlYce O'Brien. She is the founder and managing director of Project Level Up. HR and recruitment consultancy. And the reason you need to speak to her, she is a champion for all candidates in market right now. It is tough out there.
Is it?
It's really hard to get a job. And Elise is championing those people to be treated well by industry externally. You can apply for 300-400 jobs and not hear a peep.
Stop it.
Absolutely. And it makes us furious. We are very privileged. What about those who are not so privileged? Let's think of them. She's incredible.
You don't see the other side sometimes.
She also talks about women going through perimenopause, which is something we've only just started to speak about freely. She's your gal. She's amazing. And I love her. She has similar sense of humor to you and I.
So she's nuts.
She is insane. Certifiably, she's one of us. She's
good. She's one of the loonies.
She's a firecracker. Incredibly smart, very passionate. I'm going to send you her details.
Could you? That would be absolutely so much appreciated. Thank you so very much. That is amazing. Robyn Djelassi.
Djelassi.
Ooh, the D keeps showing me.
Blame husband for that one.
Thank you. You're amazing.
Great to speak with you, Anton.
That's just the best conversation ever.